Hey, what's up, guys? Figured I'd pop on here real quick. Kind of give a little bit of time here for some people to kind of jump on here. So, in the meantime, I'm going to play a couple things for you. And then once we get a few people on here, we'll kind of go over some of the stuff that I just want to kind of get a little advice, talk about what I know, kind of maybe talk through, what's going on. So here's the first one. I'll just run through a couple of videos and stuff, while we're waiting for people to come through. All right. Looks like we only have one or two people on here. I'm not kind of dragging the feed or whatever here, but I'm really looking for some insight here. So I'm going to wait just a little bit here. And we're just going to kind of go through a couple things here. So while I wait, there's a couple things that I thought were kind of interesting. Well, let's start with this here. So I got a website that I started a while back, and I'm trying to transition things over from my Etsy and Spring Tea and stuff like that. I'm trying to transfer it all to one general area, and I've come up with crack3drc.com. You can type in www or whatever. It's actually pretty decent. I'm using Weebly, and I've got GoDaddy for a redirect or whatever. I'm still setting everything up, but I think I have 3 items from my Etsy shop that I'm putting on there. Most of this is stuff that I have found on Thingiverse, and I've got the license to actually use and print and sell. So I want to kind of expand on that. I do know how to custom make stuff. Most of the stuff I do customly, I don't really advertise on. So I'm looking to kind of expand that, and I'm looking for ideas. Hey, Duke, what's up? I didn't realize you'd be on here, and I'm sorry, the first person, I know that's probably Russian. I don't know how to pronounce that. So I appreciate you guys hopping on here. So basically what I want to go over is not only the website. I've got a lot of ideas and stuff for the website, kind of looking to see what anybody, what you guys think about the website. So let me see if I can get something up here for you guys to look at. So this is, if I can get it to show, there we go. That is the website there. I got it as a ticker at the bottom. Do I print anything with the carbon fiber stuff? I'm working on that today. I kind of ran into a few snags, which is what I started doing all that stuff. So let me just run through it, dude. I've got white, which I'm about out of on the big roll. I got a little roll of white. I started doing some color stuff. This is what I had left. I was doing some red, white, and blue theme stuff. 3D printing for one of my bigger customers. I made a couple. What was I making for him? I made bumpers. I made guards. I made all kinds of little stuff that we was running through. I do have TPU, and it's supposed to be like a flexible type of material, and it kind of is, but it doesn't really do what I thought that it would do. I was kind of looking to make tires and stuff out of it. It works kind of, but it's not the greatest quality, and it's real tricky to use. You have to build in like your what am I trying to say? Your voids on the inside. You have to build that in. Now, the best way that I could describe that would be if you guys ever seen like Exocaged RC. He's got these things. I think they're called anti-foams. I believe the guy makes them either out of this or something similar. Now, that's super cool. I didn't know that they even existed when I started doing that. So I may look into something like that eventually, but obviously I don't want to just like copy off everybody else either. I want to get my own stuff rolling. But I do have this filament right here, which I've never used. It's carbon fiber. I thought that I had everything that I needed. I didn't know that you are required to have a glass bed. So I never bought the glass bed. So basically I'm waiting for a glass bed to come in. Should be in sometime this week. I have everything else that I need. Find my box here. So I went ahead and I did an upgrade on my drive for my 3D printer. It's now a direct drive. And when I did that, I kind of saved all the pieces and stuff. Here's all the different nozzles that I have currently. These are both, let's see, one of them is a bigger millimeter. I don't remember they're printed on there somewhere. But this one here on the top is kind of black. That's my hardened steel one. It's a 0.4 or 0.04 or whatever. I'll be using that when I do the carbon fiber because you need something hardened steel. And you need something that's also on your direct drive or whatever your hot end or whatever they call that. You need all steel. You can't use the silicone insert on the bottom because it'll burn right through it. It gets too hot. So that's kind of what I'm trying to figure out today is there anything else that I'm missing? Because I thought I had everything ready to rock and roll, and I was going to do a little bit of printing and stuff today, kind of fool around with it. I got off of work super early. I work for a concrete company, and it's really cold outside, so we don't have hardly, if any, work going on at all. So they sent me home. So that's kind of where I'm at today. And I figured, well, I got all this time, might as well make use of it, see what I could do. And I started putting everything together. I was getting ready to open the carbon fiber package. And I figured, well, let me just see what else you're supposed to have for this stuff. And I kind of started looking online and stuff. And I got to a point where I just kind of was like, well, all right, maybe there's a little something else here that I'm kind of not getting. So the more I started digging, the more I realized that let me put another camera on here. That way you guys can see what I'm talking about here. So this will, let me invite myself here, and this will actually get, I can actually film the printer and stuff at the same time, so I can show you a little bit. How long does it take to print something small or big? Duke, it really depends on what you're printing, really. Okay, so right now I'm printing 2 middle finger sights. These are the ones that I sell on my Etsy store. I'm trying to kind of make a better packaging and stuff for it on my website. So I know it's kind of cheesy right now, but it's still a work in progress. But basically what they are is, let me get them out of here. They fit on a regular Picatinny rail. So you have middle finger, right? And then you have the sight where it lines up. They're basically like iron sights. I think they go, it's been so long since I used it. I think it goes like that, something like that. I can't remember. but you basically line it up just like you would iron sights. These take about 4 hours at the way that I print them. I could probably print them faster, and I could probably print them a little. What am I trying to say? With a little more space, like inside the print and stuff. But I don't like doing that because it kind of changes the quality of the print. As you see, sometimes at the bottom you'll get like weird stuff and everything. I think that's okay. These actually work really well. I have an airsoft. I don't know if this one. This might have a rail on it to show you. It's just an airsoft gun, so please don't freak out, guys. Yeah, it has a tiny little rail on here. So basically, it would go on your rail. I got this one on a little too tight. So obviously, there's not enough room on this one here. But hold on, let me get this thing a little looser so I can kind of show you what I'm talking about. And you would just kind of attach it to the bottom. Oh, this one's even bigger. All right, there you go. I don't want to put it all the way on, but so on the sights, you would, use the two, one and the other one. And what you need to do is you line it up and you just kind of fasten it down with the bolt and stuff there, just kind of as tight as you want to make it. And that's all you really want to do. Now, these, like I said, they take about 4 hours or so the way that I print them. I don't have mine printing very fast because I like the quality to be pretty decent. Obviously, I'm not trying to go for superior quality here. Those are pretty durable the way that they sit, so I don't worry too much about getting real crazy on the quality. But you can go and you can get all kinds of things. You can get all kinds of what am I trying to say? Different variations of quality. You can put different materials in there. It would do different things. Let me get this other camera set up here really quick, and I'll show you what I'm talking about so it's easier to kind of see what's going on. So I had to send myself an email here so I can actually log into the StreamYard. And that's my thing here. All right, so this is entering the studio. Give me just a minute. I'm just going to call the cam 2. Let me change the camera around so that it's on the back facing. There we go. And okay, so this is the camera 2. I'm going to put it on screen. Okay, we turned the microphone off on that one. All right, so here's what we got here. Hopefully you can see that. I know Duke was the only one that really asked me for it now, but hopefully you can see that. So I have a direct drive. As you can see, hold on one second. So it doesn't go into, let's see the other setup here. It's kind of hard to describe this without showing you. At least for me it is. So the other setup had a system here where this would go around the back, connect to there on another little motor like that, and then go around, and then you had the filament that would go through it. Now the reason that that's not very good to use is eventually things kind of get to a point where they get caught up in there. So the direct drive pretty much eliminates that, and as you can see, it prints really well. You have to kind of cinch things up a little bit. You have to get down to the motherboard, I think, underneath here, and you have to attach it that way. It's pretty simple other than that. And as you can see, my prints are pretty good. Now, the hot end is inside here where the fan and stuff is. There is an actual hot end that looks like one of these guys here. Now, these have all these silicone pieces here at the bottom. To print something with a decent amount of heat, I don't remember what the temperatures are, you have to have an all-metal one because there's a tube that runs on the inside of here that will melt, and also the silicone at the bottom obviously will melt if you try to print something that you need to print hot, like carbon fiber. Carbon fiber, you see the temperature on that, you have to print it 240 to 260 C. Let me just show you another one here. Here's a PLA, and this one is showing 190 to 210. So there's quite a bit of difference on the heat, which is why you have to have an upgraded all metal hot end piece on the inside. So that's pretty much why that is what it is. And I'm kind of going back and forth. What's printing in the back? That's the that's another one of those middle finger sights. I'm printing two. I usually print a few of them off ahead of time. That way, when I get orders, I've got a few of them ready, and I can just kind of pop on. Let me take this camera off for now. Okay. So basically, that's what I do. I just kind of print some ahead of time, and then wow, that's killing me, the echo. Let me get rid of this a minute. All right, I got rid of the echo. That was driving me nuts. So basically, I print a little bit ahead of time, and I'll go from there. I know you've probably seen this before, Duke, but I'm going to show you this as well. I don't know if you can see all this stuff here, but these are for my WL toys that I'm building. I 3D printed the rims. I did not do the tires. I actually bought them on AliExpress. I got a whole bunch of arms and things like that I just got to put all this together. I haven't really had time. Today I didn't really want to because I got all this other crap I want to do. But I mean, I've got the chassis and all 3D printed. Obviously, I bought some metal pieces and stuff to go with it, like the shafts and the gears and things like that. This can be really cool when I get this one done. This is a really cool project. I've had a lot of fun messing around with it. I think I still need a few parts. I printed most everything. Maybe I need some. I'm trying to go with a little theme here. I got red, I got blue, and I got black. And I was trying to kind of theme it up a little bit. So here's like WL Toys has these braces in the center. They're more or less like one of those Arma braces, like a tower to tower kind of thing, but they're not quite the same. Obviously, it's on a smaller vehicle anyway, but you can see the antenna tube here. This would go over top of one of the differentials, or maybe that's the center. I think it's the center one in the back, maybe. I can't remember how this one's laid out, but I think because there's a gear that goes on the end of this tube, and I'm pretty sure that's where it goes, and it would ride right there, kind of like a spur, like a center spur kind of setup. CK Hobby Shop. Hey, what's up, man? I appreciate you stopping by. So yeah, that's kind of what I've got going on right now. I'm looking to find out if anybody knows anything about 3D printing, or have any ideas or whatever, because I ran into a little snag, like I said, with the carbon today, and I didn't realize that I needed the glass bed. It will not print on. I have a regular flexible bed, and I have a gradient or whatever. I have that kind of bed, and from what I understand, you can print on those, but it's not coming out. So I had another spool that I pretty much wasted. It was one of these little guys here because I have a 3D pen as well. So this is what I use on my 3D pen. These are kind of cool too, but it's kind of difficult to use. So I don't use it very much. I use it for a lot of repairs and stuff. But I burnt through the carbon fiber. I mean, I got a little bit left in there, but it's not working right on my pad there. It won't stick, and when it does stick, it's sticking too much, and it's not really coming out right. So that's when I kind of figured out that something's wrong, and I started looking it up. I'm gonna get some of these comments here. I don't RC Duke. When you printed your own RC call parts, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I can do a lot of. I mean, here's the problem. So when you do anything that's bigger than like a 10 scale, you're going to run into issues with durability. That's why I wanted to kind of play around with the carbon fiber, because I'd like to kind of dive a little bit into the 1/8 scale. I've got a 1/6 scale shredder up there. I've printed stuff for the shredder, and it does work. But I hit a big jump not too long ago, come down, and I busted the wing assembly on the back. So I ended up just buying another one. The wing assembly, I know that's a weak point on the truck. But it's just one of those things where I don't think that you can effectively print with what I'm using right now, just regular PLA or ABS, for anything bigger than like a 110. And some of the 110 scales too, I think is going to be a little challenging on it too when you get to like 4S or whatever. 3S, it seems to do pretty good. All my nitros, it does really good. I got a nitro slash up there that I got arms and stuff on there. Let's see, that one right there. One of the arms on there, I don't remember which one now looking at it, I've had on there for almost a year now, and it's 3D printed. I beat the dog piss out of that truck. I honestly, when I start driving the damn thing, I always want to like take it easy because I really enjoy the truck, and it's fantastic. But I end up, because it's like a 50-mile-an-hour plus truck, I always end up like overdoing it and kind of going a little crazy with it. I'll take it on big jumps. I mean, I hit 20-foot jumps with that damn thing. It comes down, tumbles. I bust the body all to hell or whatever. I break the little C blocks on there sometimes, not very often sometimes. And that's pretty much all I do to that truck, man. I just beat it and beat it and beat it. I haven't broken an arm yet. Not one. Even after all that bad driving, not one. I had the head custom printed for my maximum overdrive build. Yeah. That's so was it on the front there of the truck, CK, for the custom head? Obviously, like, I don't know if you've seen Maximum Overdrive, but it has like this cartoony, like goblin looking weird thing in the front on the truck. So I kind of think that's what he's talking about. Yeah, the goblin head. That's what I thought. That'd be pretty cool, actually. I wouldn't mind doing something like that. I've done. Let me see. I don't have the. Yeah, I took all that stuff down. So a long time ago, I had a Tamiya. I think it was a Blitzer or whatever. I thought it was a Rustler. I started buying parts and stuff for it. My brother would give it to me, and it was an electric one. It had a Tekin system in it, but it was brushed. And I figured, well, okay, I'll do something with this. And I started putting Rustler parts on there and realized that it don't really fit very well. So I bought I started buying slash parts for it and stuff. It fit a little bit better, but I was still having to like cut and chop and all this other stuff. So basically what I did was I kind of turned that truck into my Frankenstein. Any of you guys that's watched my channel that long will know that it, you know what the Frankenstein build is. And basically what I've done after the Frankenstein build, after I figured I was going as far as I could go with it, I could get about 60 to 70 something mile an hour out of that truck. And it was a little bitty guy. I mean, it was about yay big. I put like downforce stuff in the front, changing the body, did all kinds of weird stuff. I 3D printed guns for the outside, kind of like a Mad Max type of build. It was really cool looking. I had a lot of fun with it, but I couldn't keep it stable above like 40 something mile an hour. It's just, everything was too small. It didn't have the right track. Sometimes when it would launch to the right. So I tried locking in the rear end. That helped a little bit sometimes, but then when something come loose, different things would happen. So, I don't know what that was. Sorry, I heard a noise. Yeah, I don't know what happened with the truck, but I eventually decided I was going to morph it into the drag slash build. And for those of you that haven't seen that, hold on a second. It turned out pretty nice. I actually just recently did some work on it. I can't wait to get this thing out. I 3D printed a wheelie bar in the back, which I sell on my store. I don't think I have it posted up there yet, but I need to actually. It kind of reminds me I forgot. Let me show you that real quick. It's pretty cool. So this is my drag slash. For those of you that don't know, it's just like an F100 custom kind of thing. There's my 3D printed wheelie bar on the back that I made. That's my design. I know it looks kind of weird, but it works. I've seen some ones out there that are similar, but that's my crappy design. So whatever. That's the body work I did on it. I actually like this body. I like the way it turned out. And this is the platform. It's basically just a slash with I think it has Stampede parts or something on the front. I don't remember exactly. I got my place here that I can attach my my Sky RC thing, which I recently printed a box for it that goes inside the Arma, and I can screw it down now somewhere. So basically, it has an adjustment here on the end. I don't know if you can really see that. It has 3 holes. I like it in the middle, but you could probably push it up one, and it would bring the track down a little bit in the back. But this thing is pretty badass. I've gotten some killer speeds out of it. The problem that I'm having with this is the same problem that I was having with the other car, the Mad Max. When it launches, it wants to launch to the right or to the left. So I talked to a couple people and everything, and they told me to basically install a slipper system. So I don't know if you can really see that in there. I recently did like a little video. I think I did a short or whatever on it, where I installed just a basic slipper system in there. And I'm only running a 3300 kV Spectrum, so it's not a very big motor. As you can see, I got a decent sized pinion on there because it's just running for speed basically. Where's the pinion? Right there. So it's just basically running for speed. I think it's like 20 something. Yeah, it's like, I don't know what that one is. 20. Anyway, I think it's like 20 something on the thing there. But it's pretty badass. I really enjoy it. It's just it needs a little bit of work, and it's a little cold out right now to get too much going with it. But as you can see, I got some weird stuff going on here, and I don't know what's I'm kind of new to it. So you see the track pattern. This is where it wants to bite at. Now on the other side, it's kind of in too. Now if you look at the wheels, I think it's because I got them out like that, which is fine. That's what I want. I wanted that track. So it's supposed to help it out, but I'm not really able to get a lot out of it yet. It's got a lot of potential though. Every time I drive it, and I've only done a few videos on it, but every time I drive it, I get that weird feeling, and you just know that it's getting ready to break loose. And once I get it figured out, it's gonna be pretty cool. Okay, CK Hobby Shop. How much do you sell the wheelie bar for? I've got an Etsy shop. Go on here. Let me hit it for you right here. If you go to crack3drc.com, at the top you'll see. Here, I'll show you. I'm going to grab the other camera real quick so I can show you as I do it. A lot of this stuff is easier to show as I do. Then that way I don't have to. I have to kind of go over it again later. You know what I mean? Let me get this camera going here again. So again, it's going to be called camera. Yeah, sorry about that. Always forget about that. Okay, so here's the website. And if you look at the top right there, you'll see Etsy, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. And then we have a cart on here as well. And here's the 3 items that I have on here right now. I have some RC headers, which I did a custom thing for a guy one time, and he was using them on a 6-scale build. So that works on 6-scale-ish. I mean, I think they're a little small, but that's what he wanted. Then I have a Punisher Picatinny hand stop that goes on the gun, and then my iron sights. I have more than this, and I'll show you my Etsy store here. So if you click on Etsy here, this takes you to my Etsy store. This is where a lot of people get my custom work and everything. And these are the ones that I guess that are only listed for now. So let me go into my shop manager here, and I'll show you some of the listings that I guess have expired or whatever, and I didn't really do anything with it. Okay, here's the expired ones. Here's the wheelie bar. That one is, I usually sell it for about $12. I got to add a little bit more to that for the hardware and stuff in there. So it's going to be about $13 really. It's still really close. Then I got a Nerf rail. I got a Tello drone holder, which I actually use down here to set my phone on all the time. I got a lot of different stuff I do. This is just stuff I've had in the shop. Um, Here's some of the ones that I did that were custom work. They turned out pretty good. So, I mean, all in all, I've got a lot of little stuff like that I do. I got to take this camera back off again so we can get out of there. So yeah, and in answer to your question here, it's about $12, $13, somewhere in that neighborhood. If you were to want something like that, let me know, and I would do the $12 since I haven't even changed any of that stuff yet. Everything keeps going up in price, obviously, the filament and everything else. And now I sell hardware with stuff, which I didn't used to do that, but everybody was complaining that I didn't have hardware, so I started including it and everything. And if you look at my Etsy shop, I have pretty much all 5-star reviews. I think I have one that's a 4 or 4.5 star. So everybody really likes what I print. Obviously, it's a 3D part. It will break. I don't ever tell anybody that stuff like that won't break. It all depends on how you use it. Don't get it out in cold, that kind of jazz. It's the same thing with any kind of plastic part. But yeah, I got a lot of cool stuff on there. I really enjoy making the stuff. And I usually send them out a little here and there. When I get the big orders, it kind of takes a little more of my time, and then I got a full-time job and everything too. So sometimes I get to a point where I'm doing $200 or $300 orders, and obviously that's more important than whatever I'm doing. So I kind of got to backtrack. So when you see me kind of backing off a little bit of like the YouTube channel and stuff, that's usually what I'm doing. I had a big order or something come in. Gonna check out the website. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. I've been working on the website for a while, and it's been something that I wanted to do, but I didn't really want to put it up with not having much content on there like I do now. But the general idea is there, and I figured, well, I'll kind of do it as I go because I really need to get off of Etsy. Etsy charges a lot for, they don't charge a lot. They charge a little bit for listings, but then you got to constantly maintain that. You get the first class shipping through them, which is the cheaper shipping through USPS, and which is what I like using because shipping is always a pain in the ass. Shipping costs so much money these days. I don't know why either. So I don't really particularly like USPS that much because in my area, they're not that great, but I haven't had too many problems shipping it out. New York, I have some problems every once in a while. LA, I've had a couple issues there, but everybody ended up getting their stuff. So, and nothing was damaged. So I can't really complain. It was just delayed more than anything. So yeah, I hope I answered that. I kind of get long-winded on that stuff, but I do a lot of different things. And like I said, this used to be, going back to this here again, this used to be my Frankenstein build, which was started out as a Tamiya Blitzer. It's got a whole new chassis now. It's got the slash lower center of gravity chassis. This thing's a lot of fun too. I really can't wait for the warmer weather to get out. I need to get it out more. I just took out my infraction the other day and was ripping the hell out of that thing. I had a blast with that. That's another one that I don't give a lot of attention to on the channel, but I do play with it a lot otherwise. The infraction, man, that thing, it's a different animal. I don't know if any of you guys ever play with one. Out of the box, it goes like 85 mile an hour, and that's you got to put the big pinion gear on there, which I have mine on there. And I've been over at the mall, for example, and it's a nice big place to run. And I'll start running it out there, and all of a sudden these people start coming around and crowding, which I don't normally mind, because I'd like to get the exposure for the channel and stuff. But then I'm like, oh man, I have a 7 scale car. This thing weighs about 20 something pounds, and it's just rocketing, down the road. I'm using my speed meter here, and I'm getting like 70 mile an hour. And at that point, I'm starting to get worried because people are getting really close to the car. And I keep thinking like, what happens if something goes out? And actually, that happened once, and it didn't go into the crowd or whatever, but I actually called Horizon. They gave me a replacement radio, which I've never used because I replaced it on my own anyway. I'm not a big fan of Spectrum, guys. I hope I don't upset anybody. Oh, you have a felony? Oh yeah, man. I'd love to have one of those. I don't have one, but I'd love to have one. So this is a tactic radio. I absolutely love these. I've got one on my Italian up on the shelf, and that's what I use to race with and stuff. And it's a beast. I never have range issues or whatever. I had the Spectrum radio, the one with the big wheel. I don't remember which one that one is. And I was going, I was going. I don't remember what I was doing. I was somewhere with the infraction, and I was starting to have range issues, which I've never had before. This damn thing just took off, and it was going. I mean, and it started getting faster and faster, and I'm running. As you can see, I'm not a very small guy, so running after that, I was getting really scared. It finally stopped. I got up to that damn thing, and I snatched it up, turned it off, threw it in the trunk. I was done at that point because it was kind of worrying me a little bit because either A, it was going to go out in front of the traffic and get run over, and that's a $500 something Tory at the time, just destroyed, or it was going to hit somebody. And that, I don't need somebody coming up to me trying to get all crazy and square up with me or whatever. That it wouldn't really end very well, because I'm not going to back down, whatever, but and it would be totally my fault anyway. So, I mean, it's just not a good deal. Fast for a big RC, yeah, man, I gotta say it really is. I've got all these gassers and stuff here, the fifth scales. I really love these things. And the reason everybody keeps telling me, convert them, convert them, convert them. I like the gas on there. For one, I like the smell, the feel. It runs a little different. You can tune on it. It's kind of like not like a real car, but it's a little like it. Plus, I actually enjoy that too. And these things go, let's see, which one have I? One of these, I don't remember which one now. I've got the Losi 5T now. I've got a Baja 5B that I've got a Kraken set up on it, so it's more like a 5, whatever you would call that, 5, whatever. And then I've got the Red Cat Rampage, that's TT, which is an old discontinued model. I think the only one that's not discontinued now might be the XT. They might all be discontinued now, but the TT was like the buggy version. And then I have a HPI, parts of it's HPI. It's a Baja 5B 5T that was put together with scrap parts from my 5B because I had a version 3 Rampage MT with the big monster wheels on it, and I already had the other one. And I figured, well, hell, I'm going to build this one, because I got it in pieces in the mail for like $100. So I had to rebuild it and everything. Well, I figured, well, I have this, so I'll go ahead and trade the other one for something else. And that's what I did. That's how I got the Baja. And it came with a tote, literally full of extra parts and everything. And that's basically what I made the 5T with. Had an extra engine, all this other jazz. Do you run cutoff switches on your nitro? Yes and no. So the Nitro Slash, I have I just bought some more of those. What did I do with them? I have throttle return springs on those. Now they have fail safes on the receivers. Let's see if I can find one here so I can show you. Now when I use the regular Traxxas one on, I don't have an extra one, I don't think. Now this one right here is an older HPI one. Yeah, and it actually has a fail-safe on it too. A lot of these come with fail-safes built in. That actually came off of a 5B. So the fail-safe is basically if it notices that you don't have any power or something cut or whatever, it'll just shut it all down. It goes back to the safe area. Now the throttle return spring kind of gives you that extra added layer. If you start glitching or whatever, it'll go back for you. You just let off everything and eventually it'll work itself back. That's what I have on the Slash, because I've had the Slash before just take off down the road on me, and that damn thing's gone. It goes 50 mile an hour itself. It's only 10 scale, but still, I don't want the damn thing destroyed, and it could hurt somebody if it runs into them. And again, that would be totally my fault. I couldn't say anything, but sorry, and I'll pay whatever damage is. But obviously you don't want to do that. But yeah, I'm a little off subject here, but I do run those, and on my big ones, I'm trying out um, these guys here. They're like an off-brand. Um, I forget the name of them now. There's a company I've been working with on AliExpress, which is the Chinese website that I get a lot of stuff from. Um, those are going to go on my fifth scales, and the Chinese website, I get a lot of their stuff in from like little switches to motors and all that kind of stuff. This particular company, I've been trying to get in with them because they have a lot of stuff like that I would love to review, because I'm trying to get a few more review things on the channel. I do like hay boxing reviews, batteries, stuff like that. Well, I'd like to do like some fifth scale stuff. So I was trying to get a little more involved in that. And I'm kind of trying to impress them a little bit, or just, showcase their product or whatever. Hopefully it's good. I haven't really even tried it yet. So I'm going to try them out. If they're good, I'm going to kind of like, hey, maybe you can send me some more products to kind of review here. I don't even mind paying for them. I would like to get some of these companies to work with me, because the ones that do work with me are stuff like the small scale, which is fine. I really enjoy those too, but I want to get into the bigger ones as well. So yeah, that's kind of where I am on all that stuff. The 3D printing though, yeah, man. I got a lot of ideas, a lot of things I want to try. And again, with this carbon stuff, I don't know a lot about it, so I'm trying to learn as I go. So hopefully somebody that's watching the stream later, I get a lot of people that watch later, and that's fine. So somebody that watches later, maybe you can leave me a comment, tell me, give me some tips or whatever. Or if you just want to send me an email, crack3drc@gmail.com. Go to my website, www.crack3drc.com. Any of those places, you can get a hold of me really easy. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of those, you can get a hold of me really easy. Facebook, I have a page up there. I don't remember if it's a group page or just a regular page. I think it's just like a community page. I haven't really done much with Facebook. I'm not a huge fan of Facebook. I get a lot of people that trash talk a lot on Facebook, so I try to stay off of it. But obviously, I got to go where everybody's at too. And I do enjoy some of the people that I talk to on there, so I don't completely cut it out. I prefer Instagram or TikTok, really. So if anybody has any questions, drop something here on a video, a live, or, Instagram, TikTok, something like that. And, let me know if there's anything that I'm doing that, could be improved on or whatever here, because I'm still learning on the 3D print stuff. As you can see, I do custom stuff for people, but it's more or less like, hey, can you design this? And, let's see what comes out of that. That's pretty much my custom work. I don't have a lot of experience with different types of filament. I've messed around a little bit on my own, but not particularly beyond that. So I'm looking to find out, what's different about the carbon. What do I need to know? I'm obviously going to print it anyway, so I'm going to learn, but it'd be nice if I had a little helping hand as I go, which is, again, kind of what I'm looking to do. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to get on here for, and kind of put the word out there like, hey, if anybody knows anything or, wants to kind of give me some tips, I'd really appreciate it. I've watched a lot of videos, I've seen a lot of things, and I know some things, obviously, or I wouldn't be printing in the first place. But it'd be nice to kind of learn more as I go along. So we'll get one soon. I don't want to run away. Yeah. If you got a nitro, Duke, you said you have a T-Max? I wish I knew what I did with those so I could show you what they were. They're just throttle return springs, and basically what it does is you have your horn, for example. You got your horn, right? And if it's actuated the one way, yes, okay, that's what I thought you said. So you have it actuated the one way. Let's say the power had cut. Well, you have a stiff spring on there, so it's going to work itself back. It might not be immediate because mine has a little bit of a delay. But I have a 3.3 on mine, which is the bigger small block. I don't know if it makes a difference or not. I just know this thing's a badass, bunch of fun. But yeah, it's something that I would recommend putting on there. They're super cheap, and I wish I knew where they were at so I could show you. It's literally just a spring, yay big. It's about that long, basically. Obviously not that big, but it's more or less like these. These are for like 24 scale. And they have little ends on them and stuff where they connect to the side. I really don't want to get that down because I got to dig the other cars and stuff out. If I did, I would show you. But yeah, that's basically what I would put on there. And I would definitely do that for sure. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this. Another thing I'm going to kind of leave off with here to kind of show you how I make mistakes too. So I've worked on these two strokes for a long time now. I'm working on one to put back in my Rampage. Well, the intake manifold kind of met a cracking. And I mean, I kind of destroyed it. So I had to order a new part because of my own dumbass mistake. Everybody does it, which is why I'm trying to learn. Yeah, Duke, if you need anything else, man, I mean, seriously, hit me up on an email, a video, whatever. They're super easy. When I find them, I'll try to snap a picture and I'll send you an email or something. That way you know what I'm talking about. And maybe I'll find a link or something on them. They're super easy to install. It's not a big deal. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end with that there instead of making this super long. It's already been going 45 minutes. I'm just kind of BSing now at this point. If you have anything that you notice that I'm doing that you think is wrong, or you could, give me some tips on with the 3D printing, ask a question. My PLA stuff is pretty solid. I just don't know, like the TPU line. I've dabbled a little bit. I'm not real good at it. And I want to get into the carbon, but I haven't really got to the point where I'm at that level yet. So thanks, CK. I appreciate you stopping by, as well as you, Duke. So I'm going to go ahead and end it, guys. Again, if you guys have any comments or whatever later on when you rewatch this, just leave it in the comment section. I'd really love to hear from you. Once again, guys, I appreciate it. Thanks, everybody, for stopping by.